Welcome to another episode of my weekly podcast, and today I'm gonna talk to you about why many pro wrestlers suck. But before I do that, I would encourage you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that being said, let's get started. Now, I don't really want to talk about this subject, but unfortunately I have to, because it's been something that's been bugging me lately, and I hate to admit it, but many pro wrestlers today suck. They're absolutely, some of them are actually really horrible, and others, they're not horrible, but they have potential, but they're just not where they need to be. And the reason why, I could give several reasons why a lot of them suck nowadays. And the main thing that bothers me is that there's no characters. And back in my day, there was a lot of wrestlers that were memorable. Why? Because they had characters. You know, they were able to cut the most epic promos in history, and they were they had a lot of charisma, they had a lot of personality, and it was the way they did their moves that made them more enjoyable. Nowadays, wrestlers have zero personality, they have zero character. They don't know how to cut promos for crap. So a lot of them don't interest me because, why should I spend my hard-earned money to go to your match if you can't cut a decent promo? If wrestlers could develop characters and cut better promos, then I think they would do a lot better than what they were doing now. Because now, wrestlers, they could have the best moves in the world, but if they don't know how to implement their characters in them, it doesn't mean anything, honestly. And that's what bothers me about today's wrestling is that they all look the same. They all sound the same. They're all doing the same moves. They're all, it's just really bad, and it's not memorable. I guess if you do, if you jump 20 feet off of a building or whatever, it's shocking to see someone put their body on the line. But other than that, it's not. If you do it every night and thinking you're going to get popular with the fans, then it's not memorable. It's not gonna. It's shocking, but it's not memorable. I think some of the most memorable high spots is when wrestlers make it more dramatic. They make it more exciting. They put character in it. They don't just do it and expect the fans to cheer them on or whatever. They have a purpose for it. And unfortunately, that's been it's been lacking nowadays. People thinking that they can do these hardcore matches and think they'll be just like the ECW wrestlers, but I think they're missing. It seems like they're just missing the point. What made ECW wrestlers so great was the fact that they had characters. They cut some of the most memorable promos in wrestling history, in my opinion. And unfortunately, not many people today can do that. And And that's one of my other issues is that there's no storytelling or drama in wrestling nowadays. It's just moves, 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 moves. The wrestlers, they don't take the time to slow it down and really make it look dramatic, make it look more violent and extreme, and to help fans understand the gravity of the situation. Like I was watching Lucha Underground Season 2, the match between Mil Muertes and Phoenix. Actually, no, it wasn't Mil Muertes and Phoenix. It was, oh yeah, it was. Never mind. When they delivered, two chair shots against each other, man, those were like some of the best chair shots they ever took, in my opinion, because they made it look so dramatic. They were disorientated. They were limping all over the place. They were dizzy. Oh my goodness! And see, that's a fight. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it, because that was just flat out insane. That right there is an example of good storytelling, good drama, it's about making something look better than it actually is. And unfortunately, a lot of matches that I've seen nowadays, it's just, they might take a chair shot, or they might go through a table, but there's no drama. It's just, from the body language, it's just like, it'd be like, I got hurt, and then they get back up like nothing happened. That's not realistic. If you get hit with a chair, you're supposed to act dizzy. You're supposed to get all disorientated, and because it has effects on you, and depending on how hard it is, and the velocity is going, it's going to do some damage, and unfortunately, wrestlers nowadays, they don't know how to make it look realistic anymore, and that's pretty disappointing. And it just bothers me. And even good wrestlers that have potential, even they sometimes make mistakes. They're not perfect either, but yeah, that's pretty much how it is. And wrestling at the end of the day is sports entertainment, and it just boggles my mind how people treat it like it's a sport when it's not. I mean, you look back at the Attitude Era. You look at guys like Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, Tommy Dreamer, Mick Foley, a lot of legends, and they people are still talking about them. People are still posting matches and talking about the favorite moments, at least some of my friends, and that's having a character is what makes you memorable. It's not doing these moves, because moves, if you think about it, they're just we as fans, we all know it's choreographed, so there's no point in trying to do all these athletic moves, because we all know that it's choreographed, and I mean, yeah, it's nice to have some athleticism, but that's not the main focus, at least to me as a fan, and and it just bothers me how there's no creativity, there's no solid gimmicks, and having a gimmick means more than just putting on the costume, because that's not a gimmick. That's just, you wearing a costume or whatever. And a real character, a real solid gimmick is this projection of your inner self with with a whole bunch of emotions like anger, fear, happiness, aspirations, you name it. That's a character. A character is someone who, like The Undertaker, for example. He's one of my all-time favorites. When he gets beat up, he usually shows no pain. Yeah, sometimes he does show a little bit of pain, but wow, he makes it look so real, and especially when he makes a comeback, he sets up like the dead rising from the grave, and I'm just, when I'm looking at it, I stare at it in shock because he just looks invincible, and when I was a kid, I used to think that he was some kind of a demigod or something. But yeah, because the character was so believable that it just made you feel like, wow, this guy is actually superhuman. And nowadays, it's like wrestlers don't know their audience anymore. They just do things that they think the fans will like, but it ends up backfiring, and it's sad to see that's just how things have become. And there's some who have potential, but I wish they would, work on. I wish they would somehow get that it's really what really draws money is having a solid character, and knowing how to use your moves, at least 5 moves, rather than 100 and not know how to use them at all. That's just my opinion on it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty short podcast. So, yeah. Alright, thanks for listening, and goodbye.